Welcome back, Tigers! In this video, we will learn the differences between Salesforce Classic email templates and Lightning email templates. There are pros and cons for each template type that you should be aware of when deciding which one you want to use. Let's log into Salesforce to see which email template is right for your Salesforce project. Now, there are 4 features that we recommend you enable before you start emailing through Salesforce. We're going to go into Setup. And the first feature that we're going to enable is in the activity settings. And you'll want to make sure that you enable this feature right here that says enable email tracking. Now there's also an option that you can enable that excludes email tracking for your internal IP addresses. If you click that little link there, you can enable this and then you can list the IP address ranges for your internal employees so that the email tracking doesn't track them when an email is sent to them. The second feature that we want to enable is called Enhanced Email. We're going to go to Enhanced Email in the quick find here, and then you'll want to make sure that you click the Enable button here. Now, the next setting that we need to take a look at are the email attachment settings. We'll go to Email Attachments in the quick find here. And then there are 3 options that you can set for your email attachments. If you want your users to be able to send an email with more than 3 megabytes attached, then you're going to need to choose this third radial button. The current Salesforce email size limit for attachments is 25 megs. And then you'll click Save there. And then the 4th feature that we want to take a look at is our email footer. We'll go to Email Footers in the quick find. And then here you can specify a footer that you want to show up in every single email that's sent through Salesforce. We're going to put in a confidentiality notice. We'll click the New button here. And I'll just copy and paste the notice here in the text of footer. And then I'm going to activate this for single emails and for mass emails. Then I'll click Save. You can have more than one email footer here. And then you can also specify what you want the default email footer to be for single emails and also mass and list emails. I'm going to set it to be the confidentiality notice for both types of emails. Then I'll click Save. Now we're ready to start creating our email templates. We're going to start by creating a classic email template first. We can get there by going to Classic Email Templates in Setup. And then we're going to create a folder. We're going to click this link right here, and we're going to create a folder that's called Sales Emails. This is going to allow us to group all the emails that we're creating for sales to use in Salesforce so they can easily find them. Now I'm going to make sure this public folder access is read-only because I don't want the sales team to add additional email templates that they create into this folder. I want this to be the approved email template folder. You can also choose to share certain folders with certain types of users. You can choose to share with a specific public group or role. I'm going to leave this to be shared by all users. And I don't currently have any email templates that I want to add to this folder just yet. I will click Save here, and then I'm going to create a new template. I'm going to choose an HTML template because I want to be able to track whether or not a user opens these emails, and I also want to put links in these emails. If you don't choose HTML, you won't get either one of those features in your email. Now it shows here that I don't have a letterhead set up. So I'm going to click Go to Letterhead, and then it's taking me to Classic Letterheads. I'll click Next, and then I just want to create a blank letterhead. Make sure it's available for use and click Save. And then we're going to edit all the properties here. So I'm just going to take away all the colors, all the lines, and have it completely blank. And then you'll click Save, and then you should have a completely blank letterhead. Now we'll go back to Classic Email Templates. We'll click New Template. We'll do HTML. And then this is going to put it in my Sales Emails folder. I'll click the Available for Use. And this is going to be my TMPAA Mid-Year Meeting invite. That meeting's coming up here. Trade show's coming up in May in Tampa. I'm going to choose a blank letterhead that I just created, and then I'll make it a free-form letter. Now this email is going to be used by our sales team as well as in a mass email that we're going to send from Salesforce. I'm going to make the subject line, let's meet up at TMPAA. And then here's where I work on the body of the email. Now first I can type in here, hi, and then this is going to be sent from the contact. So I'm going to pull over the contact's full name using the field merges right here. Or maybe I just want first name. It's kind of weird to address it to the full name, isn't it? So we'll do hi, and then I'm going to copy and paste some information here. Now you need to be careful when you copy and paste into these email templates. Recommend you paste without any formatting because these HTML email templates hold all the formatting. So if you're copying and pasting from Word, it's going to make some weird things happen in here. Now you can see that I've copied and pasted in, and I've got a field merge for the account name. Now, when you're using standard objects in Salesforce in your email templates, you can leverage the field merges from the related object. So if you're sending an email to a contact, you can use all of the fields on the account object because that's the standard object that the contact is related to. So I can use account.name to field merge in the company name into my email template without having to create a formula field on the contact object. So that's a really nice feature. I'm going to add in some other text here. And then in the signature line, we can do a couple of different things here. If you are using the owner fields to indicate who this email is from, so if you're sending this email on behalf of your sales team and you want this email to have a signature line based on the owner of the account or owner of the contact, you can just use those fields from those respective objects. But your owners have to be set correctly. So I can go to contact and then I can do owner full name. And then this is going to put the owner's full name in there. I can get the title. And then I can get the phone number as well. Now this also means that your user records in Salesforce have to have these fields populated. So your user records have to have title populated and phone number populated in order for them to populate this email signature line. Another option you have in using field merges for your email signature is the user object. So the current user sending the email is who is going to populate these fields. So if I choose user.name, I'm going to put these down below here so you can see. If I use user.name, that's whoever's sending the email out, that's whose name is going to populate here. So if you're sending an email on behalf of the entire organization and you use user.name, you are going to be the person whose information populates into the email signature. And then we can pull title and phone the same way that we did the owner fields. This also requires that you have the title and phone populated on the user records. Okay, I'm going to click next here. I'm going to copy the text from the HTML version and click save. Now we can see that we have a little bit of weirdness happening. It looks like our letterhead has a big gap here at the top and at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and go to my letterhead and figure out what's going on here. I'll click on the name of the letterhead and then I'll edit that letterhead. So let's edit the header properties. And it's because the height of this is 100. So I'm going to make that 0. And then I'm going to come down to the footer. And I'm going to make this 0 as well. And that should fix the weirdness that we're seeing in our email template. That's much better. Next, I wanted to show you how to put a link in your email template. So we have a link here that we want to put on this text here. So I'm just going to highlight event details, and then you just click this little link here and you paste the link of where you want that text to link. So that's in there. So that's good. Now, I also want to add in a little snippet if you're an existing customer. So I have a sentence here where I want to invite our existing customers to a special little reception that we're having at the Marriott in Tampa. But I don't want my prospects to be invited because this is just for our customers. Now, I don't want to have to send a different email to my customers versus my prospects. I want to be able to send one email and have this sentence only show if they're an existing customer. So we can put in a little formula here. We'll do an if-then statement. And then I want to look and see if I have my account status. I do. Okay, so let me show you how this works. We have a field on our account records that's called status, and that indicates whether or not somebody is a customer or not. So this tells me if they're a prospect, customer, or previous customer. Now, if we look at our contact object, so I'll open this up in the back here. So we'll go to fields, and then I have a formula field here called account status. So we just created a text formula field, and it's just bringing over the status of the account onto the account object. So it looks like we're using this in a MailChimp query. I'm going to use this same field in this email template over here for me to dynamically show this sentence. So I'm going to pull in this field merge here, except when you're using an if-then statement, you don't need the exclamation point or the braces here because it's going to be around the if-then statement. So I'm going to look for the account status to be customer. And if the account status is customer, I want to show this sentence. And if not, I don't want to show anything. And then we'll end the braces right there. So this should show this sentence right here only for customers. And then for everybody else, that sentence won't show. Now this is a little finicky here. I've tried with pick lists and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. This is actually a feature that Salesforce support has said over time that they don't support. It just happens to work, which is interesting. So recommend using text fields here. Pick lists can be really finicky sometimes. I'll click save. And then this is what that should look like. So we'll just make sure that our we're missing a parentheses. So you're also not going to get any errors if something's wrong. It's just not going to work. I need a parentheses for my if-then statement right here. Okay. Now I want to test this to see if what we have so far is even going to work. I have a contact who is at Walt Disney World named, surprise, surprise, Mickey Mouse. So I'm going to click this button right here, send test and verify merge fields. That's going to open up a little window like this. And then I can search for my contact in here. So I'll click the lookup. I'll select Mickey Mouse. I can send an email preview to a specific email address, or I can just populate the record here. And then what will happen is it will update the email template to show exactly what it's going to look like if you send this over to Mickey. Now you can see here that my owner user record, and my user doesn't have a title or a phone. So I need to update that. I can see that my sentence is showing and Walt Disney World is a customer, so that's good. Now I'm going to update my user record and I'm going to update Walt Disney World to not be a customer anymore to see if that works. So I'll make them a previous customer. And now let me update my user record over here. Right, I got my user record updated off camera. Now I'm going to come back here and I'm going to send another test to Mickey. And we should expect to see our email signature populate. And we should not see the invite to the cocktail reception, which we don't. Perfect. So that is hiding. And we can see that our email signature is populating well. So we know we don't need both of those. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this and remove one of those. I'm going to leave it as the owner because we'll be using this as an email template for a list email later. I'll click save. And then that's how you create a classic email template. So now let me show you what an email looks like when you send it out to somebody. I'm going to go ahead and send a preview of this email to myself. So everything populated here just fine. And let me drag this over for you. So you can see that this email isn't so awesome because it's center justified. And this is one of the complaints from users when they're sending HTML classic email templates from Salesforce. It looks like it was a system generated email versus a person sending the email. There's nothing we can do about this. We've looked into this. There's no setting that we can finagle or any HTML code that we can put in to make this stop happening. If you do know of a way to do this, let me know, because this is literally the only con that I have found to sending out classic email templates. Now let's check out how to do a lightning email template. So that's a little bit different because it's on the front end of Salesforce. So we need to go to the 9 dots and we're going to go to email templates. We see this tab right here. Now, if you don't see this tab, you'll need to go to your profile and enable the tab settings to be visible. Now, we also don't see the new folder button up here on the top right, and that means that we don't have a feature turned on. We're going to go into setup here and we're going to go to enhanced email. Oh no, it's in lightning email templates. And right here, we're going to turn this setting on. Okay, now we'll come to our email templates tab. We'll click refresh. And then we see the new folder button. So you can create a folder here. Click save. And now we're ready to create our email template. So we'll create the same email template in Lightning that we created in Classic so that we can see the difference between the two. Now we'll go to new email template. And we'll call this one the same thing. And then here we can select the folder. So we can select the folder that we just created. We can select the related entity type. Now, when you're sending to leads and contacts, this I haven't seen make a difference if you choose the lead or contact object here. So I'm going to leave this on contact and we'll show you what happens. Then I'm going to copy this subject line over here. And then here's the body of my email. So I'm going to copy some of this. Okay, let's see how we put in the field merges here. So I want to put in the contact first name field merge, and how we do that is we use this little braces field merge icon, and then we choose recipient. And then these are all of the merge fields that are on the lead and contact objects that we can use. So one of the pros to a Lightning email template is that depending on the field that you're looking to merge in, you only need one template to send an email to a lead and or contact, which is nice. It's a nice feature. However, we have a little bit of a limitation because we want to field merge in the account name for the contact, and we see company here, and that's a field on the lead, so that's not going to work for us. And we see account, but that's a lookup to the account on the lead, so we don't have a way to put in the company name for the contact and the company name for the lead in the same template. So for our scenario, we'd have to create two different templates anyways. I'm going to go ahead and just put in the first name here. So if this email is going to a lead or a contact, that first name field will work, but our account is not going to work. Our account name isn't going to work. So we'll leave that out of here. Then let me save this, and I want to show you what happens with this related entity type. So I can click edit here. And if I change this to, let's say, campaign, and then I go to my merge field picker, you can see that the campaign object comes up down here, and I can choose fields from there. But that same thing doesn't happen when we choose lead or contact. I can choose contact there, and then we don't get the contact object. So you'll always only be able to use the field merges here in this section if you choose lead or contact. You also can't use those related object field merges in Lightning email templates. So remember how, let me refresh this. In our classic email template, we were able to use account.name as a field merge in here. We can't do that in a Lightning email template. We would have to create a formula field on the contact object to then show that field value in our template, which is fine. It's not the end of the world, right? Now, another thing here is we want to put in either our contact owner or the current logged in user who's going to be sending this email. If I go to my field merge picker, I don't have any of those owner fields to choose from. So I only have owner ID. So I would need to create formula fields for owner name, owner title, owner phone, whatever fields you're looking to put into your email signature if I'm using a Lightning email template. Now you can use the current sender. And so these are nice because you can field merge in whoever's sending the email. You can choose full name, and that'll be the field merge to pull in the person who's sending the email, to pull in their name. So I can just change this one to title, and then I can add in phone as well. Now, one other feature about Lightning email templates that's nice that we don't have in Classic is you have this source button. So you can flip between the HTML email code and the text version of your email template. Kind of nice if you're proficient in writing HTML, you can make changes here to how your email template looks. That would be a really nice feature on the Classic email template side. I'm gonna save this. All right, so now a couple of other things we want to cover is we do not have the capability to do these formulas in Lightning email templates. It will not work. I tried a couple of different versions. If you figure out a way to do that, let me know. And then the awesome thing about a Lightning email template is when you send it, it's not going to be sender justified. So let's go ahead and test what that looks like. So I'll go to Mickey here, and I'm going to send an email. And I'm going to send the Lightning version of the email. Click send there. Okay, now I can see the email was sent, and I'm going to open up this email message record here, and I can see that the email is left justified. Let's go back to Mickey Mouse's record and let's send another email that's using the Classic email template. And then I'll click on that one, and you'll see that this one is center justified. So this email message record shows you exactly what the email looks like that the user is going to get. If I click on the Details tab, I should be able to see a couple of fields here that tell me the last time that they opened this email. I'm going to show you how you can modify this page layout to show the first time they opened it, the last time they opened it. So we're going to go to the page layout on the email message object, and we're going to drop first opened, last opened. You can do has attachment. All right, we'll save that, and then let's refresh. And we'll go to the Details tab, and then we can see that these fields are now visible. So I'll go ahead and make sure that I open these emails, and then these dates and times should populate for me in a couple minutes, so we can come back and check those out. Now, the one thing we don't see here is that our email footer. We can't see whether or not that is or isn't coming through. When you test this email and send it to yourself, you'll be able to see that it comes through at the bottom of your email right here. All right, let's refresh and see if our open fields have populated. Not yet. Okay, so we can see here that finally, after about 6 minutes, the first opened and last opened date timestamps did come into Salesforce. And so now if we go back and we look at the activity history over here, you can see when they last opened it, and the date and time should be populated for you. Now, the last thing we want to let you know about is what happens when you're sending a email alert that uses a Lightning email template from a flow. If you have these recipient field merges in your email template, the flow will not be able to resolve these field merges. You will get an error saying cannot resolve recipient.firstname in the flow. So you will need to use a classic email template if you are sending an email to a lead or contact and you are field merging in any of their data. Just be aware of that. All right, so that's everything we wanted to show you. Differences between Lightning and Classic. It's obvious that I'm a Classic chick. Those are my favorite email templates to use because of the features and functionality, minus the center justification. We can't have everything. That's it. That's a wrap. Be sure to subscribe to Blue Tiger Academy so you don't miss the next video we are working on that will explain the difference between sending a mass email versus sending a list email. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions or if you would like to see a video on a different Salesforce topic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.